Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, we've got a bit of a special one for you. Obviously, it's lockdown, so, we can't all be in the same place at the same time. Doesn't stop the podcasts from keeping on. We did it via video conference, and we were limited to 40 minutes a pop, so there's like breaks and things in there. I will say this. There are some golden rules around podcasting, and those are the rules that you're not supposed to break. This podcast, hands down, breaks every single one of those rules and puts a nice big fat cherry on top of that. So what I will say is, there are some things some people might find offensive. Those opinions are the opinions of the people that express those opinions, but hopefully you can see that a lot of it is just a bit of fun and a bit of a laugh, and hopefully not too offensive. This is the point in time where I now try and ask you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that's the smartest thing to do right now. So yeah, subscribe to YouTube and then get a friend to do it as well. It is what it is. So check it out. Here we go. This is CookieCast, the lockdown special podcast. That's that one, and that'd be that one. Right, tight, lefty loosey. We are joined here today in the following the next episode of the lockdown podcast specials, following on from Edward Dench's roaring success. We are joined today with some of the finest cream of the podcast alum. Roll call from left to right on my screen, which will be the screen that will be used. Mr. Samuel Muscroft. Hello, Sam.
Hello, everyone.
I am obviously here. I'm front and centre. Paul Williams.
Hello, planet Earth. Jesus Christ. Fucking terrifying, man.
Edward Dench.
Hi.
And winging his way all the way from a secret location, which is almost definitely, by the looks of things, a bunker.
This is the stairs.
The best place to put you under the stairs.
Like Harry Potter. You get under the bottle.
Okay, so I've just got a message popped up saying that this meeting will end in 10 minutes.
I did warn you, so the free version, you got 40-minute windows. It's fine, we'll just kick off another one.
We'll just stop it and restart. The audio will keep going, so it'll be fine. Although it'll just be me.
Stop and start. Do it in 2 bits.
So, how are we all coping with lockdown? I don't know why I did that. It's an actual lockdown.
That's why I'm drinking. I'm fucked. This is it. I'm just going to go hang myself afterwards.
I'm not. I don't really see much of a difference in lockdown, to be honest. I'm fine with it.
Because you've got a chain of peasants bringing you all your shit to your front door.
Hello!
That's true. I may well have had the Rona. No, I'm plague free now, as far as I'm aware.
That's how it gets you. So it makes you think you're better, then you head yourself out into the world and spread that Rona.
Well, I'm right. If I actually had got it, the only place I could have got it from is the supermarket. There's some other arsehole did exactly the same.
Might have just been a carry out from my phone. Didn't know he had it.
There you go.
One of those single students that's sitting there going, I reckon I'll be fine. It's just down the road. Just down the road.
I do wonder, whether lockdown is worse or better if you live on your own. Because obviously living on your own, you just start to go a bit feral. But living with a partner, I can't imagine anything fucking worse. I'd want to throttle them after a week.
Oh, have you seen the domestic violence numbers have gone way up?
Not in the room with me. I can't say anything bad right now.
Someone told me this, that apparently that's a legitimate reason you're allowed to break lockdown.
Yeah.
After, like, some kind of domestic argument or something.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say something affair then.
I was actually thinking about that today.
Thinking about having an affair?
No, I was thinking about, what about all the people that were having affairs before lockdown? How are they coping right now?
I thought you were saying that. It's like, I've been indoors for a month and I'm thinking about having an affair now at this point.
No, you're allowed to leave for up to 7 days, aren't you?
Yeah,
And go where?
You get home for a period so that you can have a break from each other, or at least repurpose yourself to families. Because let's face it, the alternative is shooting each other.
I mean, I'm up for that one.
Oh, come now. Leanne can't be that bad to live with.
I mean, she's a bit special sometimes.
All I know is this is all being recorded, so, you know.
This is Exhibit A at this point when they find your corpse.
Hey, you know, I'm the man for his editing skills, he'll just cut it out.
I think when they find my body, they'll be like, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner, to be fair.
Yeah, it'll go to court and they'll be like, I mean, you know, so
they'll be like,
I mean, who could blame them, really?
Case closed. Well, I mean, we've got evidence. No, case closed.
We're done here.
We have the murder weapon. Case closed. I'm sure it'll be fine. So, we now have 5 people. The 2 people, sort of top left, front centre, whatever, are probably a little bit more in the camp of lockdowns not as much of a problem. Mr. Williams and Mr. Panas are probably in the camp of lockdown sucks balls. Edward Dench, it falls to you, my friend, to break the tie.
I'm doing largely what I did before. I sit in my smoking room. Guess what I do?
Build model planes?
No, I smoke. I smoke.
That was going to be my second guess.
Work machine to utilise more. So yeah, I have to side with Sam. It's not that indifferent. I do miss seeing people.
Yeah, it is worse. I'm just saying that I'm like the first few weeks was a real drag, and now I'm just kind of getting used to it.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I didn't go out that much before, and I'm getting more social interaction and drinking now than I used to. So.
The thing is, Ed, you always say, I'm all socials out, I'm not going to do the social thing, I like to not out and see people. You are out all the time.
I don't think I'm out all the time.
You are. Every time I go around Andy's, and I go around Andy's a lot, as we've proved, my mobile phone provider believes I live there, so that's how much I go on. Every time I'm at Andy's, you send me a picture, guess where I am? You're at the one doing the quiz, aren't you? Yes, I am. Every time.
I blame Kaylee for that. That was all her. She got bored and then my friend Dan broke up with his wife, and you know that encouraged more because then he was lonely. Yeah. See, I've got excuses.
Yeah.
I got a lot of my social from work though, so I did hit points where I just didn't want to go out. Whereas now I don't get any of that, and I'm getting a lot more social just from webcam chats and drinking online.
And you can choose which people you interact with, unlike work, where you've got to take the bad with the differently bad.
The rough with the smooth.
Yeah.
Is this the bit where I break to you, Sam, that we have got a 6th person joining us and all that?
Alright.
What I'm wondering, Mr. Cook, the free thing, it limits your ability to talk for too long. If one of us drops out, will that reset the timer to 40 minutes?
No, because presumably the 40 minutes kicked off when I started the meeting.
But you turned about an hour late there, didn't you? So.
Oh, Edward.
When Paul takes
Sorry,
over,
I mute most of these bloody WhatsApps. They go off all the time.
It's because you're so popular.
Yeah, It's because you're out all the time.
Quite possibly. So how is the latest purchase, Mr. Williams? How many have you gotten through? How many have you got left?
I haven't drunk. To be honest, since I made that purchase last week, I haven't actually drunk that many of them. I think I had like 3. And then on Saturday, I thought it'd be a really good idea to have 2 bottles of red wine.
Oh,
not a good
hard
idea.
times. Hard times.
Terrible idea.
Well, now you're working from home all day. You can just start during the day, can't you? Start smashing them back at like 10 in the morning. Yeah.
Don't you think I won?
I know there's been a lot of stuff on like social media and stuff about people just drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning because, you know, why not?
What else?
Just
What
get
else?
Why not? Exactly.
on the piss.
It's a holiday mentality, isn't it?
I don't know what you lot do on your holidays. That's not what I do.
It's like a holiday, only I'm chained to a laptop for 9 hours. What a joy.
Why not? Oh, it's gone out.
We lost James there. He's back again. I'm super secret bunker.
That's the problem, is that every working day now is approximately 37 hours long. They just seem to go on forever.
No, it isn't. Every working day's 8 weeks long. You know that. Come on.
It's like when it gets to like 11 o'clock in the morning.
It hasn't finished from last month.
Oh, not work.
Oh, we've got a Mother Panas. We have our 6th member. We have less than a minute, people. Shall we just all call it quits quickly and start a new meeting now before it cuts off?
Yeah, potentially.
Right, we might have to just encourage that one, and then we'll get Mother Panas in.
Right, well, I will end it this end, and then I will send you all the deets. So
That's sounding really, really sinister.
Keep my phone on hand this time.
End it.
I will see you soon.
See you on the other side.
Indeed. Yes, and we're off. Go.
Hang on.
Right,
Was
well,
that Rosehead or is that Sol?
It's Sol. Hard times. It's the last of my fridge, I believe. I'm officially
Well,
out
I'm so
of fridge.
disappointed. I like Sol. I think that's why
Yeah, you're the one who keeps bringing it.
I know.
You're the one who keeps bringing it to my house.
There's nothing wrong with salt.
It's indifferent.
Fresh, delicious.
It's indifferent. It's there.
That'd have been Rocky Tree beer.
What beer?
The Polish Special Brew.
Drink too much and go blind.
It's 7.5%. It is basically just Polish Special Brew. Good stuff, though.
And Andy's there on the Coke, or is that iced coffee?
You know it, boy.
It's iced coffee.
In what universe is that ever going to be Coke?
What, like?
Don't answer that.
Why don't give some lockdown drugs? This isn't been
No.
I hate to say it, but I think everyone's at the point where they're thinking, you know what, if there was just a bag of drugs there, you couldn't help yourself, but, you know, why not?
I bet drug dealers are making a killing during this, even more than they usually do.
Yeah. Yeah, I could really go for some real good hallucinogens right about now. Oh man.
Even if you're like pretty straight edge, like a month in lockdown with your family, and like, I could just go for some cocaine.
Well, have you seen them stuff about like kind of drug dealers just like, you know, dress themselves as like pizza delivery boys and stuff to go around the edge drugs?
No, that's got to be bollocks.
That's somehow related to the missing stem of delivery boys.
Did you see that one yesterday about the caravan escort?
What?
She was apparently
Oh, that kind of escort. I thought you were escorting a caravan.
like a caravan escort. Because they were saying, I think the joke was that that's like the most good sounding name ever, caravan escort. Anyway, she was.
I bet that particular industry has lost a bit of business in there.
Well, she's got a camper van, Sam. So she was servicing apparently up to 7 people a day, and claiming that she was, wait for it, a key worker.
I mean, she's potentially got a point there.
Can't even get your rocks off, but I guess it could count. Massage therapy.
I'll allow
I
it.
mean, the other problem, I mean, all about people might have sex with their wives, and no one needs that. So.
I love how Paul was the first one to laugh at that concept. But Paul doesn't even get that much.
Only because Aiden is out of it.
Well, you know what you're talking about, lads?
It's identifiable from the fact he's been vindicated to the bedroom on his own, and all there is in there is empty tins on a cupboard.
That's where he's sent to play Championship Manager, so... It's actually worse than masturbation in some ways. Like, just finding your significant other, it's like, is that Liverpool? Oh, Jesus. I thought I knew you.
He's hard up.
If you're on the right version, Paul, have you signed for Cherno Stamba yet?
Millwall wouldn't let go.
Everyone needs a bit of Cherno Stamba on that version.
I did buy Kim Kallstrom though.
Oh yeah.
Kim Kallstrom, Jonas London, Alexis Smirton.
Attacking midfielder, forward centre.
Oh, of course. A snippet, 250 grand or whatever it was that he cost me.
I might have to go and get myself that version.
It's just an emulation download.
Paul, if I just went upstairs, I've probably got the CDs.
I thought that version ran on like 6 floppy disks or something.
Oh.
Floppy disks?
One of the old versions, you had like 4 or 5 floppy disks to run it.
Not for Chapman. I think the original, the first version of Chapman came out on the Amiga, and then from Chapman 2 onwards, it was all on the CD-ROM.
Oh, the Amiga would have been like 4 or 5 floppy disks at least, so...
Yep.
I do remember I managed to get a version of some sort working on Android for the sake of Paul being curious. I never did anything more with it. I forgot. It wasn't mobile.
I can't imagine Ed playing a Football Manager game, if I'm honest.
I bet he'd absolutely dominate it.
It's all spreadsheets and numbers. What's not to imagine?
Yeah. I bet he'd absolutely crush at it.
What we should do is we should get Ed and Sam to both play it and see who ends up with the better team.
To see whose numbers fight. My numbers fight Ed's numbers for the...
I was going to say...
It's the point where I wouldn't even look at like the players or anything. All I would see is numbers. But I don't know how Football Manager see it, so...
Is it going to be like a real-life Moneyball, but Moneyball was a real-life Moneyball? So.
Yeah.
Literally, James, yeah.
I just found that film depressing.
Well, you know what? It's one of the few films that I can actually stand with Jonah Hill in.
That film was fine until about 2/3 of the way, 3/4 of the way through, and I'm like, so they didn't win. After all that, they didn't win.
Spoilers! Spoilers!
Sorry, spoilers. They didn't win. Spoilers. Pretty sure that film came out in 2007. Yeah, it's got a good cast.
Right, so here we go. You say, what have you been watching in lockdown? Has anyone got onto Money Heist?
I keep seeing the little trailer thing for it, and I keep looking at it, and I'm like, I might give that a whirl, but I never get round to it.
I thought because of the masks, it was going to be some kind of like creepy, like horror type thing.
It's foreign, isn't it?
It's Spanish, but it's dubbed in English afterwards. Once you get used to it, it's all right. I think it's really good. The reason why it reminded me was once you get to season 3, right? Paul, here's one for you.
Bob,
Neymar's in it as a monk.
why? Why?
Go watch. You're gonna have to watch this to get to season 3 to see why.
Who?
He's a footballer.
Oh, hey, podcast hasn't been lost on Andy, has it?
He knows his stuff.
It was actually no. I was supposed to give him his proper screen title, Neymar Jr. But
That is true. You can't miss out the junior.
yeah. But yeah, they're reason it. Anyway, no, it's really good, isn't it, guys? We're really getting into it. Very good.
Yeah. I've churned through Firefly, and I'm just about to finish watching Buffy. I'm just going
Jesus
through
Christ.
what I've seen before, just because idle noise.
That's the least. So Ed Face there is the least hyped I've ever seen anyone after watching Firefly.
Oh,
Have you seen it before?
yeah.
It's like nearly 20 years old. I haven't seen anyone who wants to see it will have seen it right now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Firefly. I enjoy it as a series. It was very enjoyable. I've seen it an awful lot.
It's alright, you can watch it again.
Through something.
You can watch it again, just under a different name. The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian definitely has a whole lot in common with Firefly.
In common, they've done identical episodes. Like, literally, it was lift, cut, copy, paste, job done.
It's a space western, and there's only so different a space western can be. It's like, are we going to do a train heist? Of course we're going to fucking train heist. It's a space western.
I might have to go back and watch that.
It's
I'll
worth a
it's
watch.
on any of the streaming platforms.
Just acquire it.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's on Amazon Prime at the moment.
It's on Prime, is it? Good.
Yeah, along with Buffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Firefly or the Mandalorian?
Firefly. Disney's not
It's
It's
going to
it?
give away their merchandise now.
I
That's
mean-
never going to happen.
I obviously subscribed to Disney Plus to
Oh,
watch The
mate.
Mandalorian. Of course I did, yeah.
Of course you do. 100% legitimate downloading. The only type of downloading you do.
Did anyone else get an email from Amazon today?
I don't think so.
They don't have details because I just use my sister's account for purchasing Amazon stuff and viewing Amazon. Can't really see what that is.
He's not wrong. It is available on Prime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where's the trust? Where's the trust, man? Go on.
Was it? It wasn't necessarily the trust. It was me going, really? I'm very surprised at that.
So secondary question though, because obviously you can't get to the end of Firefly and then not go
Serenity. Yeah.
So what is Serenity?
Serenity was on one of them the other week. I can't
Okay.
remember which.
It's not.
Whether it's still there.
It's there, but it's not. It's on rent or buy on Amazon.
On Amazon. It might have been maybe it was on Netflix.
I'm sure you can find it from an alternative streaming site if you want it.
To be honest, Sam, I know you're not going to plug any in. I do have sites for movies. I don't actually have a site where like a go-to site for TV content. So if anyone wants to send me any separately, go ahead.
Alternative streaming sites, you mean?
The completely legitimate alternative streaming site, if you can, please.
I'm sure I can find an alternative site here.
You have a suitable ad blocker, I trust.
Why would I need that on a legitimate streaming site?
Oh, just to help get through some of those legitimate adverts that turn up. You can skip a few of them that way.
You might want an entirely legitimate VPN as well, just in case.
The phrase entirely legitimate has now lost all meaning.
It's lost all legitimate meaning.
Well, there is that.
There you go. There's one, Mr. P. An entirely legitimate streaming service.
Sam, what have you been digesting other than Angel's Egg?
About the only thing I've been watching is The Mandalorian. I don't tend to watch much TV, so... But yeah, I enjoyed The Mandalorian. It's well worth a shot. Considering how fucking terrible the last few Star Wars films have been, it's good. It's well worth a shot. It's good
I
Star
was
Wars.
worried it's going to be filled with fan service, but I'm told it's better
No,
than...
I wouldn't say so at all.
No.
It's just a good... Like, the best part about it is it's got almost pretty much nothing to do with the films at all.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It doesn't have any reference to the characters, never know any of that shit. So it's just tells a story within the Star Wars universe. It's like, cool, good. We don't need to have fucking Han Solo and Darth Vader and all that shit.
Yeah, the Baby Yoda felt really... When that turned up on the intel, I went, oh, fucking hell. But it's not a Baby Yoda, it's just a Baby Yoda.
Can I watch it having not really seen much Star Wars content?
Absolutely.
I don't see why not. It's pretty
Well,
self-contained.
that's like the best way to watch it.
Yeah. It's just a TV series. It might as well be Firefly under another name sort of thing. It is just space, like Sam said, it's space western.
If you see it like the Clone Wars cartoons and stuff, there is a lot of callback for episodes.
What is it do with the host?
No, he's not moving.
I think he was just remaining still. But
Why have we got a full body like shot of bed then?
I was going to say, what's the host done now?
I mean, it's very erotic and everything, but this is a family-friendly show.
It's like, I got a man, China.
Do you know what I'm taking away from this? Ed's vest isn't white anymore.
He's had it on the entire lockdown, and now it's no longer white.
Was he ever inclusive?
It'll look like crumble to ash at the end.
I've been sat in the smoking room that long. I think I have actually just dyed it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, just residual ashes of just soaked in.
It's how you do, Ed. You just go into the smoking room at the start of the day, get your wife beater on, and just chain smoke while working for 12 hours straight.
Yes, I do. I take like 2 hourly breaks to go downstairs, make a coffee, and come back upstairs. You know, something a total of about 10 minutes over the whole day. Right.
I don't debate that's true for a second either.
You're going 2 hours without a coffee?
No, I make it big. I use my big mugs. So they last me about 2 hours. Give or take. Maybe an hour and a half.
Anything.
Yeah, give or take. It's
You seem
fine.
to. I've been seeing the messages from you though. You seem to be what's the right word? Got a bit of a boner for cuppa soups at the moment.
I do.
Bit of a boner for cuppa
You're loving a cup of soup, Ed.
Every time I ask him something, he's like, "I'll be back later. I'm just off for a cup of soup."
I am.
Exquisite.
Fucking love a cup of soup.
Ooh.
They're stopping me from eating everything. Problem is, if I nip downstairs, I'll have a biscuit, or I'll just nip. Let's have a little bit of that. I'll do this. Oh, there's a box of Jaffa cakes there. Oh, it's gone. But cup of soup, I can just take time to make it, and then I have to take my time drinking it. And it's just
To be
sometimes
fair-
all that need for eating of something. Fucking love a cup of soup.
To be fair, Dawn's been doing quite a lot of baking, so there's quite a lot of cake on the go at the moment.
Oh.
Cup of soup.
Oh my god. Something incredible happened. We now own flour.
We've had a load of flour all the time.
We had to get flour.
So do you know why there was no flour?
Because the mills aren't running.
No, there is no shortage of flour. They've actually got more flour. It's the bags that
It can't
flour.
be as far back. Where's this?
The flour.
Big bag.
Flour comes in the bags. The bags that flour comes in, made in China.
Oh no.
So it's not a flour
That's the same
shortage.
issue with when you-
It's a bag shortage.
Able to get now. You seem to be able to get now standard sugar, but that went for a while, didn't it?
Yeah, it's the bags.
But the sugar's back now. It's there.
What is going on
What are you
there?
drinking there, Paul? What are you drinking there, Paul?
That's very red.
It looks
It looks
really
good.
nice.
I think it's deceptive. It just to me it looks like a standard sort of orangey lager, orangey sort of ale.
Alright.
But it is called just because you can doesn't mean you should. Now I don't know if that's a pun because it's in a can, as well as just because you can doesn't mean you should. But it is an imperial dose. It's got raspberry and vanilla. Very much the epitome of wanky.
It sounds good.
Do you know what, Paul? Outside of Wanky Bit, has anyone ever heard the word goes?
Never.
What? Do that again.
Outside of Wanky Beer, has anyone ever heard the phrase or word goes?
I As in, look, there goes somebody. Yes.
No, GOSE.
No.
No.
So the tagline for this beer is big, tart, and fruity. You're welcome.
Having gone to the
It's a perfect description for Paul there.
Hey!
Dark and Sour, or whatever it was called. Was it called Dark and Sour?
Dark and wild.
Dark and Wild, right, yeah.
Dark and Stormy.
I always think of Simon.
Spoke to him the other day.
Did you? How's married life?
Is he a drug mule?
There's not enough on him to hide drugs in.
He sent me a random video of, I think it was like a leopard or something. And I was like, did you make this video? He was like, no. It was just like how close this sort of the cat was to these people. And I was just having a conversation with him, like asking how they're affected over there. They've got curfews. Their government's come down super hard on it.
I was speaking to a lady in Corfu. Is that an island, Corfu?
Yeah.
And she was saying that they've removed the registration plates from cars, so you're not actually allowed to go out anywhere unless you've got prior approval from the police.
My mate in the Cayman Islands said it's much the same there, just complete lockdown, no, with curfews and everything. So.
Wow, I mean,
Are we going to let them get away with casually just dropping in my mate in the Cayman Islands?
Well, that's where he lives.
Surely removing the license plates from cars is a particularly stupid idea, because suddenly every Renault Clio looks like every other Renault Clio, and therefore identifying wankers is harder.
But the point is you can't drive without your license plate.
Identification method from a vehicle if you wanted to identify people.
It's not identity, because the police will just stop you.
Yeah. But unless you've got prior permission, to which then you're actually just slowing the poor bastard down.
I don't think there's going to be like, a lot of high-speed chases in Corfu, to be honest, Ed, so...
I have no idea. I'm just thinking, if they leave the license plates on, you ring the cops and say, I desperately need some flour. Okay, miss, you have my permission to leave the house. We can see that license plate. That one's allowed. That wanker behind her, though, get the fucking cars out.
Corfu's an island, probably not on the same scale as England or Great Britain.
It's not. It's where Fawlty Towers was set.
What?
No.
Is that not Corfu?
But Corfu's in the foreign world, Edward, not Cornwall. Was Fawlty Cornwall? Was it?
Where do you think Corfu is?
I don't fucking know.
Is it Greek or Cypriot, Corfu?
Well, it's a Greek island.
Is it Greek? Yeah.
Well, it ain't British. That's all I know.
Fawlty Towers.
Right.
That is priceless. That is absolutely priceless.
What the hell would make you think I have any idea where these places are?
You're a well-travelled man.
Do you know where Cayman Islands are that started this episode?
No.
Do you know why people generally go to the Cayman Islands?
Money laundering.
Tax haven? Yeah, tax haven or money laundering.
Yeah, they launder money. That's literally their business model. We launder your money.
Oh, they sound like nice guys.
That's why
I just was quite surprised that Sam just casually dropped in my mate in the Cayman Islands.
That's where he lives. He didn't always live in the Cayman
That's where he lives and launders a lot of money.
I don't know him through money laundering. I just...
It's just a happy accident.
Exactly. He was money laundering for me before he went to the Cayman Islands.
There we go.
And that's partially why he went.
Just in keeping hold of whole business, though, it's nice to have that personal connection with your clients.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem is, whenever I hear the word client, I can only again think of escorts again. So...
I'm going to question what this man did for you.
Well, here you go. Here's a question for anybody. During this enforced stay-in situation, is anyone attempting to learn a new skill or anything like that?
I made my business to never learn anything.
Well, I've been testing out this theory I keep hearing about, where if you lie on your arm for half an hour...
Not a stranger.
No, oddly enough, I'm not. I'm using this opportunity to go through my steaming pile of shame and play some...
It's like, this is the idea, like, people say they've got shit tons of time. I don't know where it's coming from. It's like, I still have to spend most of my fucking life working. So, like, what difference does it make? I've got exactly the same amount of time that I did before.
You were the same person moaning that it took you 17 hours for the bus ride home on there.
Yeah, but you're expected to then use that time, you know, for the company. So, you don't gain anything.
I have 3 extra hours in the morning, and I should have a sum total of 2 extra hours in the evenings. You know, the absence of travel and not having to just sort of kill half an hour before having to walk, before having to bus, before having to get home, I should have at least 2 to 3 hours a day extra.
Your issue, though, is you're spending your evening pissed on house party.
I'm very rarely on house party. I wave at you occasionally and then get ignored and shunned.
I replied back to your message.
Saying, sorry, I missed this.
I was cooking my... So you didn't see the picture I called in. I was busy cooking my delicious chicken wings.
He says that. He was cooking this meal after going into the house, and I get a little thing saying James Panas is in the house. So
I just had a little look what people were up to, just while I was, like, you know, in between cooking.
Stalking?
That's what the internet's for, Andy.
Is it?
Snuck into the house.
I did notice the house party has actually got a mode called Ghost Mode.
I've not seen that. I've seen the sneak into house thing.
Yeah,
What's
there's
a
a
ghost
ghost in
mode?
there. So you can go in but it doesn't give any of the notifications that you're in there.
I mean, that sounds super ethical.
I've always taken ghosting to mean from like the biz term, where when you're having sex with a woman, you then slightly swap with a mate and then go around to the window and wave to them. That's how I know ghosting.
A couple of questions there. Don't you live on a first floor flat?
He floats outside the window.
This is going to the logistics of it, to be honest. I guess you could wave from a closet. You could wave. I don't know, Paul. Use your imagination.
I mean, the second problem is
what was interesting us at uni was I think it was either called rodeo or buckaroo. And it was
I think I know this one. I've always heard it as buckaroo.
Yeah, you refer to your partner as another girl's name and see how long you can cling on for.
I believe this call it buckaroo a barely legal practice.
Terrible.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no, as I say, I'm pretty sure most of us should have at least 2 extra hours a day at the moment. I think that's what's weird. Yeah, there's plenty to find time, that little bit of extra time, plus your lunch hours. If you are taking proper breaks at work, you don't have to go anywhere. You can just go...
Do you know what? When I was in the office, I actually took an hour for lunch every day and went out. Now, I just don't take dinner.
Yeah.
I pretty much never take a dinner. Or I very rarely take a dinner.
I haven't been bothering.
Someone just appears at about 12:30 and says, what do you want on these sandwiches today? And I go, whatever you've got, and then half an hour later I get a sandwich.
You see, that may be where I'm missing. So I don't have servants in my flat. So I have to do stuff to myself.
That's not technically true, is it, Sam?
No, he had to let all the women out of the closet.
The police were in touch, weren't they?
No, servants would be part that I pay them. There's no money. There's no money changes hands here. Got that guy in the Cayman Islands to make sure all the finances.
Oh dear. So have you found yourself a new skill then, Paul?
No, I was toying with the idea of buying an electric drum kit.
Oh man, your neighbours hate your fucking guts.
Whoa. That's not a new skill. Allegedly, you can play the drums.
Well,
No
yeah,
one's
but,
ever seen evidence of it. But
yeah, but I haven't played it in
Yeah, I
ages.
was
I'll be very rusty.
Paul, every time I'm with you in there, you're just like...
Just jerking off a bunch of dudes.
Like he's milking a cow.
That's not a new skill for Paul. That's a lifetime achievement of jerking off dudes.
I'm drumming, lads. I'm drumming.
He calls it the album.
Sorry, I didn't realise what I was doing there.
Oh,
So
dear.
there's no new skills.
Not at all. Not even Ed trying to roll with his left hand.
I can already roll both hands, mate. I need both
Right,
to do it.
roll with your anus then.
There's a bit of a thing going round about flavoured tobaccos right now, Paul. It'd be frowned upon. Yeah.
There's a quote to your gravestone, Paul, roll with your anus.
I don't feel I need books, but I've got a lot of games that I really need to go through, so I'm about to do my time in Porsche or whatever it's called, and have a go at that. Yeah, I'm just stuff that I can idle through without having to care about.
I've been painting tiny spacemans. That's not really a new skill, but it's a skill I don't get to use as often as I'd like.
Well, now you have 2 extra hours a day.
Allegedly.
No,
Sam,
not
what
allegedly.
that time you'd normally be on and off a bus.
There's not allegedly about it, Sam. It's literally time you could be doing other things.
I don't know, like, it's working 9 till 6 every day. It's like, this is basically the same as it was beforehand. I don't really see what the difference is. I was slightly earlier, but...
If you choose to put those hours in, that's on you, though. No one's expecting you to do the bus trip and time.
Listen to her!
I don't sit here and go, oh, I've got to work 16 hours a day because it's expected.
Well, okay. No, let's assume that's true.
Sam has never said that work is expected, with the exception of all of the work events, to which he says it looks bad if he doesn't go. That's the only time he says it's expected.
Has Paul put us on mute so he can blow his nose?
Yes.
He has. He's very courteous like that.
You can call
Yes,
it
I'm very
as well.
considerate soul, James.
Well, no.
And I hope that Paul will mute us for everything he does that involves a tissue. I've got to be honest, I don't want to hear any of it.
We don't get to see watch him crying while he's doing it, which is, I imagine,
Surprised Paul
mostly how it
hasn't
goes.
juvenile techniques yet, actually. I keep seeing videos of people pranking each other in the COVID stuff and, doing cruel things or having a bit of laugh. I'm surprised Paul hasn't resorted to juvenile pranks on the missus yet.
Oh yeah, I get to see all the videos on Facebook.
In fact, I did send him a video. One of those ones where you think it's like an inane video and then something jumps out of the screen at you.
Was it the eggs?
No, it was a boat trying to avoid a roof falling in on it. But I passed it to Paul and he said, "You bastard," about that guy. I was like, "Shout out to him," and he was like, "Not a chance."
What was it?
I'm trying to dig it out. If I tell you, it won't be scary.
Okay, fair enough.
He's got you there.
Yeah, no, he's got a point. There you go. My favourite video I've seen in a while.
Yeah, you sent that one.
Yeah, this for the audience.
Did you not do that with the group? Was that just a director one?
I believe you can share your screen, can't you, from this?
Your little,
Yeah, man.
what do you call it one today, though? Your running man was quite funny.
Again, I should find. I love that. And I've just bought an exercise bike for the house because Kaylee wanted someone just to do something. And I thought, wow, I've wasted all that money. I could have done that. That looked like a great idea.
You can still go for a run every day if you want. I mean, it's very tedious, but it's,
See, me and Paul were having this conversation the other day. I don't think we finished it. Paul actually was like, when was the last time you actually ran anywhere? Couldn't answer.
It was when I played basketball.
Yeah, I knew that was what Ed was going to say. I know.
Going for a run is like really efficient exercise. It's just so boring.
It is the most boring form of exercise.
Yeah, it's awful. But sometimes I should probably go for a run or something, because otherwise I'm just sat on my arse all day. So.
Yeah,
Sam, this is. I know previously you were saying about like struggling for like exercise ideas, and this might be one of those extreme suggestions, have you considered doing the PE with Joe Wicks?
I have seen it. The problem is because I'm on a middle floor flat, you can't be too noisy is the problem. So you're like doing star jumps and all that shit. He's just out because it just causes a racket.
I did it with the girls last week, and there was like certain I would replace exercises for like there's no way I'm going to start doing burpees in my living room. Burpees is just a ridiculous idea as it is.
This is not the right way to look at it, but when I watch people do, sets of different exercises, whenever it's the burpee, I just think, that looks like way too much fucking effort.
They're awful. They're awful.
I've got the internet right here. I'm sure a burpee is.
Have a look at a burpee. One that was like, I was quite proud I managed to actually do, is the up-down plank.
What? I don't know what that one is.
So, you know what a plank is? You go on your forearms and your elbows, and you go on your tiptoes, and you just stay there like that. An up-down plank is you do that, and then you go up onto your hands, and then back down onto your forearms, up onto your hands. Do that for 30 seconds.
Overkill push-up.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, I see what it is. I don't know what apparently this video will also show me how to do a super burpee, whatever that might entail.
That'll be the jumping ones.
Yeah, no, we're not rushing to do that.
I think the burpee is like a military thing, isn't it? That's where it comes from. I
mean, it looks like good exercise. I'm sure it gets you pretty knackered pretty quick.
I think it's got something in it, Sam, where it's like the most efficient, like calorie burning to energy disposed exercise you can do or something like that. I don't know.
Focuses on your core and stuff.
It's just tough in a flat because you can't make too much of a racket because you'll piss people off. So,
especially at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Running is good exercise, but it's boring as fuck.
That's why I like to play football or like badminton or something like that. So you're still doing the exercise, but there's actually.
I have no problem playing games. If you put some competitiveness into it and make it a game, yeah. I mean, I can sit and play badminton for hours. And badminton's tough, I think.
Yeah.
But, squash was always a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we keep saying it. It always seems to sort of fall by the wayside because I never get off my ass to do it. But once it actually all sort of goes back to normal, I'm looking to seeing how much it is to hire a basketball court.
Oh, he went and said it.
So,
said it.
And Ed can finally use his non-marking sole trainers.
They're not big enough.
I've managed to force my feet into them.
Did you?
Yeah, I've been wearing them. I'm breaking them in, ready for this threat. To be fair to you, Paul, none of us are rushed to go and look to book into this, so we've put all the pressure on you to do it. So it's in your own time. Like, you take your time. There's no rush.
Cheers.
It's okay.
We could do basketball or like a little five-a-side.
Yeah?
I can't promise my success at football, but if you want to start doing a football, I will try and do a football.
I bet you what Ed is one of those
football.
I reckon Ed would be a surprisingly good keeper.
Rugby.
I mean, I'd love to know your reasoning there, James.
I don't know, just I think you would be.
Not really great at running fast for long distances, but pretty agile in the spur of the moment. I can see his logic. Yeah, quick movement for a short distance. That might actually be just up my street. That I could just stand.
That's his job
all the way through.
I mean,
it's funny when we were discussing five-a-side teams or full-on 11-a-side teams. I don't think Dench made it to a starting lineup, did he?
Nah.
No, of course he fucking didn't. Everyone would think the person's got to explain the rules to.
Kick the ball towards the goal that you're trying to attack towards.
I understand the mechanical football. I have to kick it up for someone to kick it back, so I can kick it up so that they can kick it back, and then I nearly get to the goal before I kick it all the way back.
No, that's absolutely not the idea of football. The idea of football is retain the possession of the ball as much as possible.
By kicking it all the way up, kicking it all the way back, for kicking it all the way up.
No.
And score a great team goal.
We're pointing out as well, we've got 1 minute and 17 seconds.
Which is just enough time for us to discuss our Kabaddi Baddy team.
Oh my god, amazing.
Yes! Let's go play Kabaddi Kabaddi.
It's all on there. That one's on James, that.
I don't want to.
Kabaddi, touch, run. I could love that. That'd be great. Let's go play Kabaddi Kabaddi. British Bulldogs schools, right?
Mainly because we're not allowed to at the moment.
Well, true. At the moment we can't, but we have less than a minute. Are we resetting the timer again, or are we calling it for the night?
It's entirely up to you boys. I can go again.
Yeah,
I can chat with Mark.
let's cut it and do it again. Then.
Right.
Is that the rule for who's going to be on the screen?
Cut
Ladies
and
and gentlemen,
cut and
forward
play.
to Luke. Da-dun, dun, da-dun, dun, da-dun. Oh, never discuss religion, never discuss race, and never discuss politics.
Well, it's more religion, politics, and coronavirus. Yeah, it's identity politics of any kind. Just leave it at home. It's not like you will piss off someone somewhere. So just leave it well alone.
Race, gender
Yes,
equality.
Just leave it.
Well, this is exactly the problem, though. You shouldn't have to worry about pissing off the little powder puff fuckers.
Paul, dearest of all my friends.
Really, 'cause when do people get like to have an opinion?
You're allowed an opinion on everything as long as your opinion is outrage about another person's opinion. If your opinion is not about your outrage about their opinion, then you're not allowed that. That's how it works, Paul.
And Sam is gone. Exit. Stage right.
No, we've lost Sam Fairmont. He's gone now.
Sam's not prepared to be a part of this conversation.
Is it over now?
Has it finished?
Yeah, there's so much to be put back in the cupboard.
Let's discuss whether or not we think Jesus would have questioned his gender based on his long hair.
No, we don't need to because it didn't exist then.
Prove it.
Oh,
Andy, it's all going off the rails.
Oh, Jesus.
Control
Sam.
your players, Andrew.
Sam, control your players.
You just have to replace it with a load of bleep. Just let people assume people that we're talking about.
We'll get it out there quickly, shall we? Jesus was obviously an African-American transgender. There we go. We've said it. We've upset everybody. Oh, and he voted Trump. There you go. All three in one.
You know, I did that. You can't use the podcast.
Just burn it, Andy. It's gone.
Oh dear. Right, we've just broken all of Sam's 3 cardinal rules.
We thought way late before. I'm quite interested to find out what other people have been watching.
Well, yeah, I was getting round to Mr. Williams.
Yeah.
He's just watching wrestling, hasn't it? It's all Paul watches, wrestling and football.
Oh, well, you didn't you, Paul?
To be fair, I watched a bit of the wrestling.
Really?
Yeah.
So did I.
Watch it, so I watched a bit of the wrestling. I saw The Undertaker's most pitiful match of ever.
Yeah,
It's
me
funny
too.
that Katie forced you to watch the wrestling because Paul apparently didn't his girlfriend force him to watch the wrestling.
No, Paul forced her to watch the wrestling.
No, absolutely incorrect. She said that on Saturday night, what she wanted to do was drink beer and watch old wrestling.
What's the catch?
No catch, that's literally what she wanted to do.
He got that bad then? It's like lockdown got that bad?
Yeah, pretty much. I dug out the DVD and then started with one of these.
I can't. can't see.
Oh,
I didn't. Not any of it's any
Can you
good.
not just play on like the PS4 or whatever you've got?
No, it's downstairs. This is upstairs. Then move to this little ditty.
I'm gonna have to change my screen so I can see. Oh, King of the Hill is so shit, man.
You're wrong when you're an ugly freak.
I haven't seen King of the
Factually
Hill.
incorrect, James.
Animated comedy equals shite.
Wrong, because South Park's fantastic.
Andy,
Shite.
can you just kick James off this chat, please? I may have broken the
I don't-
cardinal rules, but he went too far, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
not too far.
how could you be so wrong about everything? Like, how does that even happen?
It's incredible, isn't it? How one stupid fucking idiot can be so incredibly wrong.
Oh, blazed.
Like,
I mean,
Animated
we can't feel too sorry for him though. He supports a team that's never ever going to get back in the Premier League. Ever.
like, James, are you really saying that, like, peak era Simpsons wasn't amazing? How can you even have that opinion? Like, what's wrong with your brain?
It doesn't do anything for me, Sam.
I mean, that explains a lot, I guess.
Definitely spoken at the man who
Have you watched?
he touches people in a broken.
Did you watch the first series of Big Mouth? Because that was funny. That was
Big Mouth
genuinely-
is great.
I found Big Mouth to try hard, but
I think
it's
it's
alright.
time to watch Big Mouth. But
Big Mouth had, just for shock or factor, the first series was really good. Second one was a bit hit and miss.
the thing is, I've been burnt by too many shit ones.
What about Futurama? Futurama's the fucking best.
Futurama was brilliant.
No.
Futurama was great.
Zap,
Can't get
ready.
clear.
Rick and Morty's got great charm, but again, that's a bit of an
Rick and Morty is it?
I've been told that Rick and Morty is really excellent apart from the first episode.
No, the first episode's fine. It's just,
It was
it's
terrible.
not for everyone. It's not for everyone. It's not for
I did love Rick and Morty. I thought it was okay. I didn't quite understand what the fuss was all about. It's not horrible. I watched that a couple of seasons and found it perfectly watchable. But I never found it any more than that. I didn't find it hilarious like Futurama was at its peak.
I've just never been into cartoons, boys. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, if Sam lived that way, he'd have no sexual interaction at all. He has to have his cartoons.
I was wondering who would go first, and I'd jump to the right away. On your head.
Just
What
for
was
you
the
to
thing you
What
threw at us the other
What a
day?
hero you are, Ed.
What did you throw at me the other day? The term weebo, is it?
Weeaboo.
Weeaboo, sorry, weeaboo.
I thought we were chatting with Chad.
Yeah, I know. You and the housemate were weeaboos.
Weeaboo is like a fairly, I don't know, archaic term for like anime fans, but you know, one of those types of anime fans.
When we say we're talking about hentai,
Just like Japanese animation of any kind.
You know, a Sam animation. You know, something Sam-like.
But apparently, Chev's housemate is a recovering weeaboo, so...
Whereas Sam still hasn't come to terms with this and is just living that way.
I'm too far gone. I'm like, what, 35 or something? I'm not getting better, am I? So...
Yeah.
Not getting better. It sounds like you've got an
There's
illness.
an animated comedy out there for you somewhere. BoJack Horseman's a weird one. It's not really comedy, but it's enjoyable.
Dark.
It's quite an interesting...
Dark.
Archer? Everyone enjoys Archer, right?
Archer was funny. What about Paradise PD?
That's a hit and
you
miss
know
one. Don't
what
get me
this
wrong, I found it
about
amusing.
now. I don't even know what you're talking about now.
Paradise PD was a more recently done Netflix one. It's alright, it's got funny moments, but again, it's mostly the shock awe factor of having penises and shit turn up in cartoons. Outside of that, it's lacking any actual structured comedy.
I feel South Park has, you know, got that corner covered, really.
They sort of got the original
See,
punch.
that's massive, but I've never thought South Park, oh yeah, that's funny.
I don't
Have you
understand,
watched
like,
the more recent stuff?
how can you be like this?
Have you watched the more recent South Park stuff? The actual current affairs stuff?
No.
Watch
Even
all
like
of the
even-
one going
South
through
Park the
whole
movie is a
complex.
stone cold classic.
Oh, just unbelievable. Oh, as Andy will attest to, South Park the musical.
Amazing film. I don't know how you can not find South Park the movie funny.
Because I haven't watched it. It's a cartoon.
Again, I'll give him credit.
You know
for
what? The
the
only
old one.
cartoon that I've watched in my life and thought I'll watch that again, Lion King.
Lion King is great. Don't get me wrong.
You see, just for that right there, I'm just going to give you more credit. The Lion King can convert anyone.
It's not converting. I'll just watch that. I won't watch any other Disney animated shite that you like. But Lion King, great.
Andy, remember what I said about cutting that guy out?
How do you boot someone from this meeting thing?
You're the host. I think you have direct control over who joins.
I believe I have all of the
Who
control.
lives and who dies.
You can't limit my voice. Surely.
We can't censor you.
Incorrect.
Why am I the one getting shit when everyone's talking about all the crap he talks about as well?
That's just Esso, isn't it?
That is just Eddie.
It's almost like I do it on purpose, who knew?
So did we exhaust what everyone's been watching then?
I've been, oh god, he's got the interesting backgrounds on.
Yeah, the only thing is it's gone a bit wrong because it's like trying to put back on his beard.
Yeah, it just picks up my beard. It picks up all the black stuff and it just turns into like my beard in
How
space.
to put a fancy background on then?
Are you doing that? Are you doing it on the laptop version?
Yeah.
Next to the video thing in the bottom bar, there's like an up arrow, and then there's just a thing that says video settings, and it's in their virtual
Go on,
background.
Sam. Give us the most exciting background.
Alright, here we go. Choose virtual background. That doesn't look like I can. But I've only got none as an option.
I don't have any pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do it on the phone? I'm not going to be able to do it on the phone, am I?
I have to go get a pretty picture. There you go.
Chat meeting settings. Is it in that or would there be another thing?
I think it's under video settings. Yeah.
I don't have any video settings because I'm on my fucking phone.
No, none of these pictures on this laptop are suitable.
Is that a donkey? Huh? What is it? No!
Add an image.
It's coming right for you.
It's coming right for me, Pete. Come right at me, Ned. Is everyone now just playing with the video?
Yeah, I'm trying to find you just the perfect background.
Not your
Oh.
chance again, Ed.
I thought, yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh, good God.
I couldn't find better.
That's beautiful,
He's
Ed.
just riding a unicorn. I'm just going to leave that there now, actually. Yeah, just over the shoulder like that. That's perfect.
I love how he's adjusted his seating position to make it look better. Couldn't you just swing the camera around a bit?
No, because the picture is not...
Yeah, but surely if you swing the camera around so it gets you on the corner of the picture, you have to sit weird.
Yeah, but... no, it just...
You still
I'm
need
actually
to
quite
decide.
happy leaning. I'm quite happy leaning against my cushions.
Aren't you a technical wonder kid, Ed?
Fuck off, Paul.
Wow.
You're right, I can just adjust the camera. Yeah. It works quite well on mine. I don't know why Andy's beard just blends into...
You've got a green background.
I know. It's
I mean,
alright.
if coronavirus takes us all, it'd be for the best, really, wouldn't it?
Well,
You've been planning for this for ages.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Sam.
Not planning, Paul, just secretly hoping.
I mean, does anybody remember the Water Wars movement that Sam was trying to start?
It's not a movement. Like, look, when that begins, you'll be like, oh, that's what Sam was talking about.
But now, though, now we've had Corona and the Earth's healing, are we not going to avoid that now?
I think it's funny you should say that, but it's like it's been like 3 months in like some parts of China. It's crazy how much like it has recovered.
Yeah.
Yep.
Living proof. If we just stayed the fuck indoors, we could save the world.
Have you noticed how every single day the weather is amazing? So
That's just
I've
got
actually noticed
that's
that.
just got to be a bit
I've been wondering that. The weather has been non-stop fucking beautiful. Is that because there is no cars emitting crap?
Yep, it's going to be 20. It's going to be 24 degrees by the end of the week.
It's because God's a bitch, and he's just like he knows it. He knows what he's doing. He's like, oh yeah, you're all indoors.
Sam, you're breaking a rule. You're breaking a rule.
I didn't specify which God. It can be any indeterminate God.
No, he's breaking the rule. God doesn't exist.
Before you break the rule.
I wonder what the name of this podcast is going to be.
Who broke the rule first?
Lockdown Special Cardinal Sin Podcast.
Look, it could be any god. It could be like one of the Greek gods. Like they you know, they were all assholes. So. We're going to offend the ancient Greeks there, Paul. But it's too early.
Down the pan, Andy.
Oh, you can't say that about Hermes. Oh, God, you'll offend the fans of Apollo in ancient Greece.
Well, right.
Helios may smite you, Sam. Helios may smite you.
Next question then. Who's your favourite Greek?
We get to rate the Greek.
I knew this was coming.
Who's my favourite? Well, that's a tough question.
That is a good question.
When you ask that question, are we going through just the main gods, or are we going through all of the Denny's, their offspring? What about the actual Titans?
If I'm honest,
don't worry about it.
if I'm honest, I'm just running through God of War games right now.
Well, this is what I want to know.
Name a Titan, Ed. You could probably do Kronos.
Kronos.
Kronos, Atlas, Gaia.
Which
Which is your
Gaia?
favourite? Well, which is your favourite?
Gaia. Hang on.
Kronos, master of all time.
It isn't about Gaia.
Gaia,
Gaia.
Mother
Gaia.
Earth.
Oh, I was going to ask him which Gaia he preferred. Kieran, Bruce.
Rhea.
Danny.
I
Nathan.
don't remember those from Greek or Norse mythology. Which ones were they? I no idea who those people are, Paul. I'm sorry, you're on your own there.
They're all footballers, Edward. Gods of football.
Oh, the sport ball gods. Right
Roddy,
up there.
He's
The
probably
great gods of
taking it a little bit
Dionysos.
too the extreme there, James.
They probably have better salaries than the Greek gods.
Bruce Dyer.
You were the one going with Bruce Dyer, come on.
Well, who else is there? I can't think of anyone else after Kieran and Bruce.
Isn't there Nathan Dyer?
Nathan Dyer, Eric Dyer.
Yeah, and as Sam pointed out, Danny Dyer. And
Danny
also,
Dyer.
the
Don't
older
forget
Danny,
about
his daughter.
this conversation is dire. There you go.
Oh, excellent. I tell you what is on that Champ Manager 2001-2002 game. You can sign Jeff Brazier. That's not playing for Canby Island.
Is that before or after he was on Shipwrecked? That's where he come from, isn't it? He was on Shipwrecked and became a celeb, married Jade Goody, and now he's on BT Sport Vanarama or whatever it's in now.
Something like that, yeah.
Instantly,
I think
another
me and
guy
Sam
for
have
you.
the same knowledge of who the fuck you're on about here, which is what?
Another guy for you, Paul, as I was listening to Quickly Kevin the other day. Ali Dyer.
Ali Dyer. Oh. I mean, it's spelled completely differently, but you know.
He's still a Dyer though, isn't it?
Well, Ali Dyer.
Yeah, alright then. You know what I mean. Instantly though, if anyone wants a podcast to listen to, Quickly Kevin, Willie Scott.
So good.
There is a prerequisite that you actually have an interest in 90s football.
It is very good, though.
It is very good. I don't know if I've gone in too quickly though, because those first couple of episodes where they've got Latiz and Merson on, the Merson one is incredible.
Well, yeah, but that's understandable, isn't it? Because he's a bit of a character.
Yeah.
series they're on now, they've got to a stage where they're releasing like 3 or 4 a week. So they're doing a regular episode, they're doing a couple of best stocks, they're doing a quiz each week, they're doing, and they're doing a watch along of it, or they're doing a review of a football based film. So when Saturday comes last week.
How are Jimmy's going to play for United?
Yeah.
United.
Sean Bean, at his finest.
Seen Bean, does he die?
He doesn't die.
Not interested.
Well,
Big Shark fan then.
Sharp is the fucking best. Sorry, I was looking at something else and I heard people talk about Sharp. So
Were you looking up the names of the Titans?
Bastard.
I was not. No, I was looking at the internet and then I heard like Sean Bean and Sharp and it's like, ooh, this is something I can contribute
Have you
to.
seen that matchup, Sam, that's on the internet? It's throughout all the series of Sharp. Every time Sean Bean says the words, you bastard.
You
bastard.
Yeah, it's great. Oh man, I could watch Sharp any day of the week. It's all good.
what is Sharp? I've never actually seen it.
It's a Napoleonic costume drama. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically the
Why is he
story
playing a
of Sean
Yorkshireman?
Bean saying the words, you bastard.
Well, ironically,
That's all
in the
they're
book,
allowed to say.
it's weird because in the books he's from London, and then obviously like Sean Bean playing did from and it's like one of the most Yorkshire accents ever. So that's all retcon it all in the book, saying that yes, he lived in London, but he was born in Yorkshire. So yeah, we should still watch it, Paul.
Just put Sharp, you bastard into YouTube, Paul, because you can just get this summary of all the series in like a 4-minute video clip or whatever it is.
I would say they're all worth watching. It's like if you think, God, I could go for a Napoleonic costume drama, and Sharp is, at the top of the tree.
Right up there with the new one.
You got Hornblower as well. Hornblower is worth your time.
Horatio Hornblower.
Horatio
Hornblowers.
Hornblower is great. It's not quite as good as Sharp, but it's still good.
It's that Welsh fella, isn't it, that's Hornblower?
It's Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
His name escapes me, but he played Mr. Fantastic.
I swear he's got a very, very Welsh name. And when I say very, very Welsh, I don't mean like Peter Jones. As in a proper Welsh name.
Is he the one who's in the Liar programme that just put on?
Yes.
Yes, I know who you mean. Oh, I know the programme you mean now as well. Yes, I remember the old period drama thing.
Yeah, it's him on a ship head.
Yeah, I know, I remember now. I'd forgotten about that. I know Sharp as a series. I watched that one with the family. Jean's favourite programme was Sharp. She's a big Scene Bean fan.
I think there's been quite a lot of women quite enjoyed a young Sean Bean, in all honesty. So,
It sounds
He's
weird.
definitely one of the housewives' favourites, wasn't he?
absolutely, yeah, he's a I'm not like Hornblower and Sharp, so yeah, I think we've all enjoyed a bit of a.
How about this for an idea then? We each pick an old 90s or late 80s TV show and we have to all watch it in full.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, I'm going to ruin your night by saying Coronation Street.
No, that's
That's a soap, not a TV series.
Oh, does it not count? Okay.
I was thinking something like Heartbeat.
Ooh.
I've
ER.
already picked them all. I watched a lot of Heartbeat back in the day.
ER. Is ER still going?
Don't think so.
Don't think so.
Replaced by Greys, haven't it? It's all about Greys now.
I when I searched for my brother-in-law's Sky Cine, Sky app on Sky Go or whatever, is it that Chicago now? But there's like Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago ER. Like, it's just the Chicago franchise, but they've just made
Chicago Med.
What?
Chicago Med?
Is it Chicago Med, not ER? Yeah, right then. But then there's Chicago Fire and Chicago PD as well.
I don't know one featuring Richard Gere here.
I could find this out rather easily because I could just basically open the door, ask the lady downstairs, because if it's a fucking American medical drama, she'll have it on fucking speed dial.
Does she enjoy a bit of House then?
Oh my! I don't know if you ever watched House.
I like House. I like House.
House is good. Every episode is exactly the same, but it's still kind of good drama.
She's watching Grey's, she watches New Amsterdam, she watches The Good Doctor, she watches all of them. She watches Casualty still.
So we've agreed then we're going to do a podcast on every single episode of Sharp then. That's what I heard from this.
I will binge watch Sharp with you, Sam, alright? I will binge watch it.
Well, we'll have to wait until the Rona is over, but...
My
I'm
Sharona.
going to binge watch it at home. You binge watch it at the same time, and at the end of the window, we'll discuss Sharp on the podcast.
Someone was saying when all this first happened that is there not like a Google app where you can watch films together, and if like one person wants to put, it keeps resyncing the film for you or whatever.
Yeah,
So if one
it's called
person,
Zoom. What we do is we set it playing on Andy's computer, and he shares his screen.
no, it wasn't like that. You can watch it in your own browser, but like because you're part of a friend group or whatever.
Right.
When one person wants to pause and go for a shit,
that boxer in your house.
Huh?
Probably still in fucking cling film, mate.
I knew I'd seen that you got the box set when it was last in the flat.
I've got both that and the Hornblower box set right next to it, so... And I could watch it right now. In fact, I may. I'll put it on in the background.
Oh,
do you know what? I might watch it. I've got a day off on Thursday. I might just watch Sharp all day.
what are you gonna do with your day off, James? Bit of work, maybe.
No,
I was going to say, how on earth are you going to find the time to watch Sharp on your day off when you'll be logging into your computer?
13 hours worth of work instead of 16.
That corporate cock won't deep throat itself, I suppose.
hey, you've got all day tomorrow, haven't you, Ed?
Yeah. There you go, that was short.
Wonderful.
Are you going to watch some Sharp on it, Ed?
No, I was going to play some of my time in Porsche, but I might put Sharpen in the background just to keep you happy.
The nameless tool, which will remain nameless for the purpose of this podcast that Ed built, will almost definitely be going down tomorrow. Glad I'm not at work.
I thought you were describing one of the people on the podcast as the nameless tool, but...
Sam, he's right there.
I'm logging in the morning, I'm doing my data cleanse to make sure it stays in one piece, and then I'm just keeping the machine running on support. So if anything burns, I will be available. But
That doesn't sound like a holiday, does it?
No, it's not a holiday. Don't
if the place is not burning, I'm not salting it. That is the response. It has to be on physical fire for me.
What I heard there was, if the place isn't burning, I'm not salting it. And all I could imagine was Ed seasoning the building or something. Like
I thought it was like salting the earth.
salting the wound or that.
We're done here, I'm salting this.
Come on, Sam, go talking.
Put it on camera.
Panas is off dogging. Pretty sure that's not in the rules.
Well, it wasn't part of the 3 topics we can't discuss, so let's talk about James dogging.
Dogging is absolutely not off the table.
That's right, so that's just brought up another interesting topic.
Paul used to be a professional dogger.
No, but which pastimes are going to suffer the most from this?
Dogging, yeah, you're right, dogging will absolutely have...
Dogging's probably the top one.
If I'm honest, if you're into dogging, I don't think you're going to let Corona stop you.
Well, I'm middle-aged, so you're at risk.
In a public toilet.
Me and Lam were talking about some of the sports that will potentially struggle to resume. Like, what do we think the UFC is going to look like after this? Are they honestly going to be able to come back from something like this? Obviously, we know that, like, the WWE is continuing on regardless. But, you know, the
Why wouldn't it continue?
close proximity, full contact sport.
Yeah, but after this,
Yeah, but way after this, I would have thought. I would have thought things would return to normal before they would even review stuff like that. And normal.
On that basis, football's dead.
Yeah, probably.
It's never going to happen. As soon as they suggest they're going to ban or banish all FIFA things, Paul will be the one leading the riot.
Well, the NFL are doing a virtual draft
Calvin is pitchfork.
for a season that's probably not going to go ahead.
They can't banish it purely because it's, the masses love that shit. Paul, what would you do if they banned football?
It's not about banning football, is it? They'd have to outlaw it.
I think football. I don't think football will stop. I think it'll just move to closed doors.
I thought all footballers had to give some of their salary to nurses and stuff because of reasons.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it?
All the sport does just football, isn't it?
All the bollocks that keeps coming out about every Thursday at 8 o'clock or whatever it is when the clap goes around. It's anyone who's clapping who voted Conservatives.
Don't get me fucking started, Paul. This is well into politics territory. But
we're touching.
We are ticking all the boxes today.
Don't get me started. I don't think is it really politics that's laid to the fucking Tories. It shouldn't be. So that should just be common decency.
I think if footballers want to give away their money to someone, that's up to them. But I don't think you can kind of shame them into going to earn loads of money.
It's completely mad to suddenly single out footballers as opposed to all the many, many other professions that make colossal amounts of money. So our bankers, they don't have to give the money. It's caused all of this.
Why is no one going mental? All the boxers that aren't giving up a portion of their purse. Some of the boxers that get several Tyson Fury probably got what 18 million for his last fight.
That's the point. When you've got to the point where you can say Wayne Rooney has a good point, you failed as a society, honestly.
And the only thing is, though, when you start looking at footballers going a certain percentage of their weight, there's probably a lot of footballers knocking around that just live the same kind of lifestyle as we do.
Yeah, they make fuck all. Sure, your Premiership players will make a lot of money, but I bet your lower division players aren't making that much at all.
I mean, Paul might kind of disagree, but I bet you there's Premier League players that don't get crazy money.
I'd be saying, at your lower end clubs, who got promoted this season?
Norwich.
Well,
So your Norwich, I don't know, third choice right back. He's a professional player, but he ain't earning enough to be able to distribute his wages to the.
Yeah, but he's also. Yeah, but you'd also hope that he was a third choice right back. He's under the age of 22, so probably lived with his parents. Doesn't have a mortgage.
Even if that's true, Paul, the point is that why single out footballers amongst the many, many, many professions that make huge amounts of money?
Yeah, there's no call for all the bankers to forego so much of their wages.
Yeah, and I think if it came down to it, a lot of footballers probably would be willing to at least punt in a bit of money. But it's just the bizarreness of it. It's footballers, they're our biggest problem.
I think there's quite a lot of footballers that have come out and said that Jordan Henderson was setting the seed in motion with a lot of footballers to do it as a voluntary thing. Anyway, but for some reason now people are just expecting that it's something they should do.
Yes, but it's completely mad to me.
The point is that it should never have got to the point where the NHS needed an assistant.
Well, no,
Surely.
That was the idea of the NHS.
When it was set up, it was never the whole point of it was that your national insurance is to pay for the NHS.
Yeah, but I don't think that they ever envisaged caning the NHS like we are at the moment.
No, but the Tories have an ideological aversion to the NHS and have since its inception. So to be surprised when they underfund it continuously, it's crazy. It's if you voted Tory and then decide to clap for the NHS, you should probably drown yourself. Is that unfair?
No, it seems pretty reasonable to me.
Yeah, just highest building, jump onto the unyielding concrete below. I mean, I don't think that's completely unreasonable. So no politics now. No politics.
Well, the stay clear of that stick in the minefield.
the thing is, it's British politics. No one gives a shit about British politics. It's only American politics you're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah.
Have you seen all the people in America that are protesting to be allowed to go back out?
Oh, don't get it. Yeah.
I mean...
The sheer amount of misspelled signs is just amazing.
Oh.
That in and of itself is a sign of a sick society.
Did you
It's the
see
only reason that...
What's he got there? What, did you see that there was like
an offensive Brexit photo?
There was a likening from like all the like the lockdown measures to a parachute. Because in response to, do you see that? Is it Florida plan to open their beaches again soon?
Even though they've got 35,000 cases.
I know, even that, but they were saying that like that's like, imagine that you were in a parachute and when you pull the parachute it slows down your rate of descent. But before you hit the ground you decide, I don't know, I don't need this parachute, I'll cut myself free of it. Either way, you're still dying. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the point in like breaking all those lockdown rules that have slowed things down for you just to like die anyway?
The point is America doesn't have systems in place to deal with this sort of thing at all. So when they say it's like, oh, we know, but what about the economy? In America, it's kind of true because like people, when it comes down to it, it's like people who can't work. What the fuck else are they going to do? There's no social security and nothing worth a damn there. So you can see why they're complaining, why they want to go back to work. But in and of itself, it is a sign of a sick society. So I understand why they're doing it, though.
Didn't I see the other day that like New York alone's got more cases than like all the major countries around Europe now?
New York is fucked. It's fucked. Like,
yeah,
what about?
Number one, it's massive, but obviously, yeah. Was it? This was over a week ago now, and it was like 160,000 cases or something in one city, as opposed to, that was more than like all of the major the major countries we've got in Europe.
I mean, I'm still working on the idea. We're probably sort of heading our way towards 20,000 deaths, which is, I think that's the point where it will probably start slowing at that point. But even so, it's still a failure. It's a failure of government. It's a failure of... We failed in nearly every conceivable way we could have.
It is, but when he made his bit of a U-turn of like, it's fine to now it's lockdown. Supposedly he'd been given some figures that if you don't do something, that it was going to end up as 250,000.
1 minute remaining just before you go.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're now full-on into politics, and we probably shouldn't. But,
well, you've not got time to get any further into it. This is going to cut off before you get to the end of this sentence. So let's just agree that Sam is probably right.
I'm not sure that's ever a good idea, to be honest. But...
Paul's officially dead to us there. Okay,
I'm actually sleepy time for Paul.
Before we go, Ed hasn't been adhering.
I'm loving the nostril shot and everything, James, but you might want to adjust your camera.
Right, I'm recording again.
Trim. I don't mind which.
The
camera or trim?
No, it's because I've got it in my hands now.
I know. Oh, the collar's been popped. It's getting serious.
I think the collar's been popped all the time. To be fair, I don't know if I can show you. Hang on, let me flip camera.
This is where we find out he's been naked from the waist down. Oh, here we go.
Joggers. I've dropped into just dirty joggers now. No self-respect.
Sorry, you just dropped Sam off, apparently.
Sam's gone. Sam had enough. He was like, nah, not doing it.
Sam will do joggers.
It was like, of all the conversations we've had this evening, James Panas in joggers, I'm out.
So go on, James, what am I not adhering to?
Me, you and Paul made an agreement not to shave.
I haven't shaved. This is my disappointing facial hair.
I have disappointing facial hair.
Right, since last we spoke, do you really think I could shave and grow this much back?
I don't know how Andy has.
No, Andy had the unfair advantage. He didn't shave in the first place. If he shaved he would still win.
He's been shaving, that's all come back since. Although I did watch, there's a video I watched last night of the guy that, it's all the rage to do like the photo everyday time lapse type of hairs.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a video thing where it included a photo every day, but for 3 years did not shave, from clean shaven through to fuck off beard.
Massive beard.
Yeah. And it was just him going around the world, because he looked like he was travelling the whole time with his missus. But as you say, he went from like little man, ginger clean shaven, to just...
Oh, I'd be nosy at that one. So, 3 of us left. I found out what I'm not adhering to, despite the fact I have. Cheeky bastard. When do you think I've shaved?
I don't know.
This is about as effective as my facial hair gets.
I've seen you with some full-on tashes, Ed.
Yes, and they take months.
You could get into keep rounds of needing a bit of wax.
Yeah, and it takes months.
Talking of, has anyone seen Mr. Keep grow out?
Well, no, but that's because we're not outside the house. And whenever I suggest or think about this idea, you go, I'm not sure about that. For your own reasoning.
I don't think we've ever had that conversation about a podcast.
No, but we have mentioned the idea of potentially having a drink with him and the knowledge of where he would be when he had to have that thing with him. And we'd have to have that conversation there on this camera in his house, which... Look, if I say it and they watch this, it's all... someone's going to get shot.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I can tell you that I am going to be doing said podcast with said person this week.
Really?
Friday, I believe. Allegedly, there is going to be a live stream, which I've no idea how that's going to work. So...
A live stream of what?
Of the podcast.
Oh.
I have no idea how that's going to work. Feel free to join in. Are
you just streaming it on the YouTubes?
I think there was some mention of Facebook.
Oh, I don't have Facebook, Andy.
But there was a mention that we needed to do some kind of test, which I was like, yeah, I'm happy to test anything like that. But
well, people do live Instas now, don't they?
Yeah, you can do Instagram Live. But yeah, I don't know. I can't say any more. All I know is that I had a conversation with him earlier in the week where we were both saying that we've been sort of like, he's been playing and finishing a lot of games. I've been attempting to play various games. And I was like, certainly sounds worthy of a podcast. And he was like, yeah, all over it. So, watch this space, I guess.
Have we lost it?
No. I was just letting you two talk about your potentially live streaming on Facebook.
I don't know that that's actually it.
No,
but
I don't know if we've got the follower basis to justify a live stream, but it'd be interesting to see it go. Have people chuck comments at you. Does it have to be Facebook to watch it?
I don't like I would have gone with YouTube.
I don't think the BBC are going to cover it.
Oh, Sam's come back.
He's back.
You've not missed out, mate. We waited for you.
We'll have to stop talking about him.
It's fine. My computer just dropped, so it's like just replied a reason.
We assumed that James showed you a crotch shot and you went, nope.
Yep.
It was Bluetooth, you know, man. It was like long, man. Charm.
Oh, I don't know what that's like, Sam. I've no idea what that's like.
What? Why are you using Bluetooth?
I'm using Bluetooth headphones.
Okay.
I could use the microphone on the on the laptop, it probably would be much worse, to be honest. But
I don't know what the sound quality is like for you. I'll be honest, I don't know what the sound quality of me is like.
all right,
Come through clearly?
yeah, reasonably.
James, do you hear clear?
Yeah, you
Well,
just sound like you, Ed.
Based
Yes,
on your poor internet connection sometimes, I'm going to give you something. Your video feed's coming to you absolutely amazingly.
Me?
Yeah, yours is crisp, clear, sharp, it's really...
I don't think I have internet problems.
No, I don't know what's... Maybe it's just your VPN at times is a bit of a dick.
I'm definitely saying that the problem that we had on our call yesterday was definitely you.
Yeah, I think it was, because after I reconnected onto a different network in my house, I was fine.
How many people can say that? Oh yeah, I went onto the other network. I actually have. Yeah, I know, Ed.
Sam's probably got at least 3.
I've got 2.
No, I think I've only got the one. Unless you're talking like the various like bits and pieces of the network, like the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5 one.
Yeah, so I've got 2 2.4s and I've got 2 5 gigahertz all
Oh, I think that's what I've got as well. So yeah,
You'll have at least 2. You'll have a dual band router, and you won't allow for that weird amalgamated. Oh, we'll just split it between the connections. You'll separate them out for dedication.
No, I've got a gigahertz router, but that's just for the NAS main more than anything, to be honest.
Yeah, gotta have quick access to all of the grot.
I'm not sure you need a gigahertz router unless you're like streaming some really high quality pornography. And at that point, it's like a real double-edged sword. At that point, you can see everything.
Why do you have a gigahertz connection?
What you mean? You want it to look up high definition? It's just
you can see everything, but you can see everything.
That's look pretty sharp, mate.
Like, yes, those are some pores, all right. That's certainly something.
Such quality, you actually feel the moisture hit your face.
Oh, grim. I bet VR has got all sorts of uses for that such thing.
VR has, apparently.
Oh, mate. I love the apparently in that.
I wouldn't know.
I can't imagine the Quest and Oculus have jumped on the barrel. I imagine Steam's has got some fucking filth in it, but...
No, it's more that the pornography industry, whatever you might think of it sort of morally speaking, has always been very quick off the mark when it comes to...
Technology.
Technology, yeah.
They are the forefront of technology.
And that's the reason, supposedly, that VHS was such a success compared to Betamax, is that...
Because porn hitched its wagon to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why, was it 4K, the original incarnation of the 4K didn't take off because porn hitched its wagon to Blu-ray.
Yeah, because they favoured the amount of content you could hold as opposed to the quality of it. And Blu-ray was better for that. Blu-ray is 25 gigs of data on a disc, whereas HD is just higher compression or something. So the HD media system dropped out for Blu-ray because it could do both. And DVD success was mostly down to porn because one of the big features of DVD originally was multiple angles. Who here has ever seen a film with multiple angles?
Not many.
I don't get any discs that I own.
No, I've never seen a film with multiple angles.
You're suggesting that certain industries might have made use of multiple angles. And...
Yeah, but that was a feature. And on the PlayStation 2, when you're watching a DVD, there's an angle option. It's just never optional because no DVD ever offered it. But someone in the porn industry obviously went, that's a good idea. But yeah, I can believe it because, well, let's face it, the world loves a new way to get the jollies off. Well, them sex dolls you buy, Sam, someone had to, originally test those out first.
What, you suggested they went through rigorous testing procedures?
Well, I like to think so. It's a grim concept, isn't it? What do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a tester. What do you test? I'd rather not talk about it.
I don't know, if it came down to like that or like being a tester for like EA or something,
Oh, God.
it'd be a tough one.
don't know. I think I'd rather be the doll in that argument. I could think of better ways to get fucked.
I would say EA is
Now putting things over.
killing off developers really.
Yeah. No, that doesn't surprise me, and I dread to think on what the next stage of all this fucking technology will be for the porn industry, because, I'm sure they'll come up with something deeply unpleasant.
Well, the thing is with VR, not from a PA sort of porn point of view, but in general, is it's not really hit mainstream acceptance yet. And it's arguable if it ever will.
They said that about VHS once. Non-believable.
I honestly thought he was going to say video games then.
Oh, to be fair, I think they probably did say that about video games at one point as well. I just wasn't alive then, so.
Yeah, well, there was a big video game crash, at least in the USA in 1983, where they assumed that the industry wouldn't bounce back from it.
That was E.T.'s fault.
E.T. is just a poster child for it. It was the idea that there was just so many shit games flooding the market that it crashed it.
Yeah.
We didn't really have it in the UK because we had a completely different scene, but VR still feels really niche to me.
It's just issues involved with it and the quality of the games. There's not enough decency in them really to be good, but they're getting better, and the Quest system is proving that you can do good quality gaming. As Andy knows, you've got your Quest, don't you?
Yeah.
I know you don't use it a lot, probably at the minute.
I use it every day.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm using it for as part of my workout.
Oh, okay.
I've got a boxing game that is of all
Is that the one where you have to box to the music?
No, it's called Thrill of the Fight, and it's just a fairly bare bones boxing game. You fight opponents and you work your way through to like fighting the world champion. But in all the stuff I've ever done, sort of exercise wise, it is one of the most brutal workouts I've ever done. It's bonkers.
Yeah, I can Beat Saber to be exhausting. If you play it for long enough and things, your arms ache. I imagine it's very similar.
It is.
Just with actual motion and proper coordination.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. And I think there's a market for it there. I think there is a real market for potential. It's not going to be the same as like Steam. You can't do that level of casual gaming on it. It's got to be something physical, something active. Because the most fun game I've ever played on there is still Beat Saber. It's simple, it's enjoyable, and it's a great soundtrack. But outside of that, I don't want Fallout 4 in VR, don't get me wrong, I've got it, I've played it looks fine, no worse than it does as an actual game. But to play a game for that length of time on there your head goes funny.
I'd like to play Half-Life Alyx.
I'd like to, but again, is it a long game?
I've heard it's pretty much like the biggest like poster child for VR that I've seen so far, than like making a proper game on it.
Yeah, everybody's working on the principle that this is what happened was when a proper game studio attaches their wagon to VR.
And the people that I've seen a lot of like very, very positive reviews from it from critics who I would generally trust.
I imagine they put some good story and concept into it. I'd like to have a go at the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners.
Yeah, that's the other one I want to play.
That looks really nice, and it seems to capture the essence of the Walking Dead series in its design and things. I'd love to have a go at that one, but I don't want to spend £30 on something I'm not convinced of yet. But I'm not using my VR that often anymore. It's a pain in the ass for me to have to set up. I might give in to a Quest at some stage, but
I can't recommend the Quest enough. The face surround for the Quest for mine is currently on the radiator. I'm waiting for
drying off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Grim, but yeah.
Yeah, but it is what it is. it gets generally quite warm anyway. Add to that doing a monstrous amount of physical exertion. It is literally dripping by the end. So every day I have to take it off, put it on the radiator to dry it out. But I'm waiting for a PVC faux leather one to come. But it's coming from Thailand. It was shipped 3 weeks ago. No sign of it. Still in transit according to the tracking.
The whole lockdown will lift. You'll open the box and start the whole thing off again.
Probably. When it does get delivered, it will stay outside. It'll stay outdoors for about a day until I actually bring it in and open it.
So you dare actually touch the box. Yeah. How much is the Quest going for these days? 400.
400.
Quest. Well, there's a stand for it there. That's very nice.
That is something that I could actually do with. I could do with something to put it on.
There's one on here for 30 quid on Prime.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, simple stand. That's on Prime. Go on, treat yourself, Andy. It's not like you're spending your money on anything else at the moment.
I'm spending my money on everything at the moment.
I'm not doing daily little ventures of any sort, so I'm not buying the odd little bit here and there. I'm saving a pocket for it.
Yeah, I'm finding that my finances are in a much better shape, to be honest. It's like,
It's surprising, isn't it, actually? How much you must just flitter away on little things over a month is amazing.
But even then, it's more like, I'm not ordering anything I don't particularly need. So it's like, well, any like that book or something, I'm not just going to randomly order a book from Amazon now, for example. So it's like, yeah, it's just like digital purchases are about all I'm buying at the moment. The odd video game here and there, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I still need to decide whether to give in to Control or not. I'm looking for it to turn up on Steam.
It must be getting fairly close because I think it's a year exclusive. Is it on Steam at all? Is it actually got a Steam page?
It's just not for sale yet.
Right, so it will be turning up.
Oh yeah, it will do.
I believe August is when I think it was August last year, so August would be my guess when it turns up. It's worth it. I thought it's worth.
Yep,
if you can pick it up,
August.
If you can pick it up for a decent price, it's well worth your time. Again.
I'm just sick of buying things on all the other fucking platforms.
Don't get me started.
I'm happy to wait and just get it then. There's a few other games out and about. I wouldn't mind trying out Greedfall, whatever that is, but
I did enjoy playing Fallen Order, and when Origin was down, I still couldn't play the game that I bought on Steam.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're still bound by the other one. It's more that I don't like having them across multiple things. I gave in to Red Dead on Epic or whatever it was, but outside of that, oh fuck off! I loved Red Dead.
Oh God, a game that made me think, maybe I should go and do something else. Oh, I know. I'll go to work because this will be more fun than Red Dead 2 fucking bullshit game.
But it's kind of, it wasn't my thing, is all I will say. It looked like a very directionless kind of game.
Do you know what? It's not anybody's thing.
It's because it was originally billed as, because it's makers of Grand Theft Auto, isn't it?
It's Grand Theft Auto on horses. No, it isn't.
No, yeah, I was going to say, I seen from my brother playing a hell of a lot of Red Dead. Oh no, was it my brother or my housemate at the time? Playing a hell of a lot of Red Dead 1, I was like, nah.
Red Dead 1 was great. Red Dead 1 for its era of game was really good.
It was the best film I was ever forced to play.
It's just not. From what I could see though, granted I'm into cars, so naturally I prefer Grand Theft Auto, but it's nowhere near as exciting as Grand Theft Auto.
It isn't.
No, Red Dead 2's, again, it's a great story. It's really well done and it's beautiful to play.
It is a good story.
One thing that really pissed me off was riding the horse.
Yeah.
Because by the end of it, you were having to ride from one side of the map to the other, and that could take half an hour. And I didn't figure out until the last fucking missions, I literally mean the last 2 or 3, that if you put the cinematic mode on, your horse auto-rode. I didn't know that. So for fucking months I've been pressing that button to ride the fucking horse.
The thing is, you know, like Final Fantasy 15, I mean, Andy had moaned about this before, where, again, it had an auto-drive feature, but then it's like, okay, I guess I'll watch this car drive for 15 minutes.
That wouldn't have bothered me, because I could have put my controller down.
Why? It's pointless.
Because if they introduce things like Portal into those kind of games, they're worried that it seems like the world's too small. They want to give you the illusion of a large world, don't they?
Well, people who care about that sort of thing can just ignore those portals.
Yes.
Whereas
right.
the rest of us who don't want to watch a car drive for 15 minutes, you fucking mentalist,
I would have been happier if they'd had fast travel.
can instead play the game that they bought, rather than going and playing something else for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I used to play a different game whilst that car was driving.
I've heard this from a lot of other games outside of the ones you mentioned now, that you are having to play games within games, and some games even give you games within games because they know you need something to occupy you whilst they're doing the other things. But with Red Dead though, even because I know obviously you've got the cinematic thing, is it not an issue with rendering the game fast enough? Is that not? Is it just to delay you from the fact that they need to load?
No,
I think it was like an artistic decision, really.
It's not a load screen thing where they need to render a different server or whatever then. Right.
Because at certain points in the game it would always give you a load time. If you died, it had to do a refresh load and things like that, which was fair enough. The load time wasn't too bad on PC.
But like forcing you to watch like a skinning animation when you've just, killed an animal or whatever. That to me is just time wasting bullshit. Don't make me watch this. I've seen it a million times. Just let me skip it. I don't have time for your bullshit.
I made you go through that fucking hoop as well. Not quite in the same detail. I mean, the rabbit's not so bad. Picks it up, pulls it off, there you go. But when you're skinning an elk, fucking hell. That was a minute-long animation each time.
I'm sure someone put a lot of effort into making that skinning an elk animation, but I've seen it. I don't need to see it again. We're done.
I mean, I've not played these games, but you are talking to someone who probably put like 12 hours a day into World of Warcraft at some stage of their life.
Yeah. MMOs are their own. It's weird because MMOs are basically a dead entity. Like MMOs don't really exist in the same way that they used to.
No, to be fair, I quite liked the grindy aspects of the game, but
MMOs have changed now. People have gone on to things like the Monster Hunter structure of MMO, haven't they?
Destiny and what's the other one? The Division and stuff like that.
You need a lot more.
They've taken the elements of MMO that people enjoyed the most and got rid of the other bits, which is your crafting and your living and your shop. And they've got rid of that bit.
Because essentially, on something like World of Warcraft, you're at a disadvantage if you didn't start playing it at the start of the game.
And you're also at a disadvantage if you played it like very casually. It wanted you to log in every day.
Yeah.
Whereas the MMO structure is now the MMORPG structure, isn't it? Which is basically...
I mean, that's still true of your divisions and all that sort of thing. It still wants you to log in every day. Destiny 2 is kind of the other sort of big one, I would say. Final Fantasy 14 is about the only, beyond World of Warcraft, is the only true MMO that's really kind of left, really.
There's a few still floating about. There's one keeps turning up in my Steam feed suggesting to me. I can't remember what it's fucking called. But it has an amazing looking character creator on it, and I thought that would be mint if it wasn't an MMO.
Is it Black Desert?
That's the one.
Black Desert. Black Desert is an amazing waifu simulator.
It's a shame that's a game I don't want to play.
If you want to make Korean dolls, Black Desert Online is incredible. As an actual game, fucking bullshit.
I'll say I would never play it.
So I hear from a friend
who's also called Sam.
What was the? I forget its name now. What was the? And I only played a free trial of it. But my housemate was massively into it. What was the one in space?
Eve Online.
Does Eve still go on?
Yeah, Eve Online is kind of like, again, it's like if World of Warcraft was like a job, then Eve Online really took it to the next level.
Really? Right.
Yeah. Like, I know people who are like, oh, I played this video game while I was playing Eve. It's like, what? Like, I watched this TV show while I was playing Eve. It's like, so it was so unengaging that you had to watch a TV show while you were playing it. Is that because
they were travelling to the other end of the universe without using a black hole or whatever?
I believe it was mining, like, because you had to just sit there literally for hours while your shit did the mining.
Yeah, I always used to moan at my housemate because he used to be into it, and he convinced me to take up the free trial. To which, in my emails now, I always get, "Come back to Eve, please come back." But it was, I just used to refer to it as shining rock, the shining torch of the rocks.
Yeah,
it was like laser mining on it. But
I say the only time I attempted World of Warcraft was when I'd just broken up with my ex at the time. And I was obviously very vulnerable at that point, and even then, World of Warcraft couldn't quite sink it down. So I still had that point where I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Do you know what, Sam? I played it for a good 9 or 10 years.
Never played it once.
Don't. Well, I mean, it's 16 years old now. There's literally no reason to play World of Warcraft. It's
no.
They've remastered the original World of Warcraft now, haven't they? So you know, like, because obviously after a while you hanker for like
nostalgia.
The good old days.
Version, don't you, of things, yeah. You know, like how nowadays, like, you know, when you said before about going and watching back on Sharp, and someone said, "Well, we'll go watch like an old TV show." Everyone remembers like Knight Rider really good. You go back and watch Knight Rider now, you're like, "Fucking now, what was this shit?"
A lot of old TV was like that.
Yeah. I watched that then and felt that. Never liked Knight Rider, I'm sorry. But I know you mean.
I don't think you're physically old enough for Knight Rider the first time round.
No, probably not, but hey.
I'm sure we had repeats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it'd be like a bump for Saturday with an episode of Knight Rider followed by an episode of Baywatch.
I always think of like Transformers and Thundercats and stuff like that. I think, I used to like this as a child. You watch it and think, Jesus Christ, this is absolutely unwatchably shit.
Do you know what? I never used to watch. I remember watching Thundercats, and I had some kind of do you remember those like audio cassette things you used to get to listen to things? I had like a Thundercats audio cassette. Anyway, maybe that's just me.
You mean a tape?
Yes, a tape. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just trying to differentiate between a video and an audio ad. But anyway.
Fair enough.
But I never watched Transformers. The only time I've ever watched the Transformers is round at your house. And I was like so into that. It was just like, I don't know, bombardment of colour everywhere.
That's because it's a fucking masterpiece.
The Transformers movie is amazing. It was animated by Toei, so it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I was well into that.
The 1986 movie looks absolutely brilliant. But the mainline TV series was obviously made on a complete shoestring budget and looks fucking awful.
No, fair enough.
But the movie, it's like an all-star cast and was obviously animated with a lot of money at the time. So it really, really does look like the panning shots just across Unicron. And Andy, you'll know what I'm like. I love a good panning shot. And it's like,
just purely for the bit where Unicron transforms. That entire section is just a piece of beauty.
It's incredibly lavish.
So here's a question for you then, Sam. What do you enjoy more? A good panning shot?
Or a nice wet model?
Like between like proper beautiful cell animation and like proper beautiful practical effects. You can't make me choose, man.
No, we can't. You're making me make this choice. Decide.
I can't. It's like choosing between my wife and my mistress. It can't be done.
Alright. Close your eyes now. Think of them in turn, and whichever one makes you finish is the winner.
Like, you watch him like The Thing, and it's just like, look how wet all the monsters are in it.
The scene in Alien where it's literally dripping.
Exactly. Exactly. But then it's like, you'll see like the CG in Alien 3, and it's just a full-on boner kill.
Yeah, I know. Nothing more flaccid than a CGI Alien when you've been spoiled with the wetness of an original one. Oof.
It's just funny, like, because the CG in Aliens looks truly awful. You go into models and like 1990s models when they'd like the top of the craft. It's like,
It literally had a hose pipe over the top of it. Oh. Right. We have 6 minutes remaining on this one. I'm afraid I'm done.
it's 11:15, so I think it's fair enough to call it there.
Yeah. I've got to go and watch my Gold Rush episode now.
I'm going to start watching Sharp. Got to beat Sam to the end.
James, before you go, I've got a recommendation for you.
You right?
On Netflix, there is a documentary, Shelby American.
All right. Presumably about Carol Shelby.
Carol Shelby documentary. Fantastic. Literally.
Have you watched Ford versus Ferrari?
No, but I watched that and I was like,
it's good.
I want to watch Ford versus Ferrari because I kind of want to know how close they've got it and stuff.
Well, I'll go back and watch the documentary. I've watched the. You think that the documentary is going to be about? Well, I mean, it kind of is about Ford versus Ferrari, as it says, but it's Carol Shelby's like the supporting actor in it. It's more about whatever he was called, Ken, whatever Christian Bale's character is. And I went back and read about him afterwards.
Did he die?
Quite well.
Did he die in the test run of the GT40?
No, so he died a couple. So the film takes you through them entering and winning Le Mans.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is much of a spoiler because everyone knows that's what it's there. It's there for Ford to beat Ferrari.
Yeah, that was the whole point.
He spends he's from, I think he's from either Birmingham or Coventry, one of those dreary places. And he's ended up in America after the war. But so Christian Bale plays like an English guy who's the guy, and yeah, he does. He develops for Ford, despite Ford not wanting him to really, the GT40 that wins the lot.
Yeah.
And then it's the subsequent tests of like the version 2 as that he dies in. You don't see it in the film, so the film just ends with the first Le Mans.
You don't see it in the documentary either. They show a side-scrolling view of him shooting off down the track, and the way that you see it is the camera's kind of dropped below a hill, and then they just talk about the crash and how it was like people were running over and like people were going over, and then people were stopping them like, don't go over there. It was because he was like, as far as racing drivers, because he was like Mr. Racing Driver, but he wasn't just that. He was an engineer. He was the guy that tested all the cars and stuff.
In the film, that he runs just his own auto shop.
Yeah.
But he's just tuning cars, but he's got like a bit of an attitude about him where he feels that he not only is a mechanic, that he should tell the people that they're not entitled to drive the cars that they own. Because it's like full of like expensive guys who have like really amazing sports cars that drive them around at like 20 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And he just tells them that they're shit and they're fucking the cars up and all. Basically he doesn't watch his mouth with anything.
So I mean, it sounds as a film, it sounds pretty close to what actually happened.
Yeah. So no, I really enjoyed the film, but then again, I was always looking forward to that film. I watched a few trailers around yours as well. It's good. Good cast as well.
Yeah.
Well, if that's on Netflix, I'll go watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe even tonight after Gold Rush.
It's 2 hours, but it flies by. It's really good. I like the fact that Carol Shelby, nobody quite knew how many times he'd been married. And it flashes through these different guys going, he was married at least 5 times. And another guy's like, pretty sure it was 7 times. And they just kept going on about how he used to convince these women that they were married to him, even if they weren't.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, I realised we were running out of time, but in the film, it opens with Shelby driving. I don't know if it's. I think Shelby wins Le Mans himself.
Yeah, he won it. He won it literally at the point that they were like, "You've got 5 years left to live." I think this was like 6 years. Like
they told him that they couldn't drive anymore, and
yeah.
To be fair, I think he felt he was kind of in the way the film suggests that he was bottling it a bit as well. Like he knew he shouldn't be driving anymore.
Yeah, he was putting nitroglycerine tablets under his tongue whilst he was doing Le Mans.
Yeah. So it opens with him, and then he just like falls out the racing, doesn't he, into like a Ford dealership or something, and just on the side. Giving a race car to this Ken guy. I think he was called Ken. But yeah, it's really good. Really, really good. I'm gonna have
a look for that.
Yeah, I actually found it on the totally legitimate website that shows me our films.
Sam's favourite.
Website, remember?
Yeah, I've got one for the films. It's probably the one that everyone uses, but I will look to plug it here.
Amazon Prime,
Netflix. They're not paying to do that.
Huh?
We can't endorse legitimate programming like that. We have to keep the names quiet.
Yeah.
It's worth noting we have less than a minute left, so do we want to do a sign off?
Well, thank you all very much. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for allowing this to happen. And this will definitely be the Cardinal Sin podcast.
And there's going to be a fair bit of editing for you with all the breaks, and you're going to have to do some kind of editing because there's breaks.
On one of the videos, I forgot to restart the audio, so there's going to be that to deal with.
Let's hope that there's one where
it was literally like a minute.
Religious bombs.
I'm going to say it might be my minute gone. Oh well, what a shame. My political bants. Oh dear.
Long
okay.
bants.
Right,
thank you very much, boys. So there you go, what do you think of that? Hopefully not too offensive, hopefully all in good fun. YouTube watchers, make sure you're subscribing. Like I've sort of said in the last few, we are trying to up the subscribers. So if you could be a doll and subscribe and get a friend to subscribe, then we can get those subscribers up. And as I keep saying to people, subscribers bring treats for everybody. So, treats are nice. Everybody jump over to thecookiecast.com, send us some form of love, whether it's social media or email or hug the screen. One of those is all good. So there we go. There'll be more stuff like this coming, I'm sure. You got to keep yourself occupied, so that's what we do. But until next time, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then. Bye.